Hi. Um, Hopefully this is going to be my first actual video in a while that's decent, or more than 2 minutes. I had planned to get up and get in the shower and wash my hair first thing in the morning, but that obviously has not happened. So there's a number of things happening in my life, or that have happened in my life, that I haven't talked about. But again, not because I don't want to, but because for whatever reason, well, there's been many reasons, come to think of it. I've definitely been feeling really self-conscious lately, which might be really surprising for the next person considering how I make these videos, and the simple fact that there are many videos. They're not very long, don't get me wrong. I've watched a few, but there are still at least, I'm going to guess, maybe 4 or so videos I haven't seen that other people have, to make the point. So when I say that I've been feeling self-conscious, I think it's more happening in my real everyday life, and then it's spilling over into how I feel about making these videos. Because I think the whole point of these videos for me is to talk everything out that I'm feeling, to try and make sense of it, and work through it, I guess is what I'm saying. And I share everything because I'm a person that needs to hear other people's real life circumstances for me to be able to help myself. Not everybody's like me. We're all very different. But for those of you who are like me, if the videos I make and share help you even in the slightest way, it's worth it for me. The self-consciousness is coming from the whole, I think it's coming from what's happened with Mandy, if I'm honest, at work. My anxiety has risen so substantially since this has happened. I unfortunately no longer feel comfortable as I did with my job, simply because I absolutely adore my client and the work we do. I just have zero trust for Mandy, and obviously I can't talk about any of this at work. So my client obviously has no idea, as far as I know. And the last they knew, Mandy and I were friends. And now I'm just so paranoid about saying or doing the wrong thing in case it's said to Mandy in passing in innocence, and then I'm dragged through the fucking coals again like I have been already. And I'm sure people are probably thinking I should just get on and move on from this fucking email. Believe you me, I received it a week and a day ago. I absolutely agree I need to move on. Unfortunately, moving on from things in the past is a lot easier than moving on from things that are still in your life. And I gave up this kind of work for a reason. And I've even to the point had to call my therapist's office and ask to be put on a cancellation list, because it's all well and good to be like, I haven't done anything wrong. I know that I'm okay. That doesn't change the fact that I'm actually a highly vulnerable person myself who should be receiving support. And I can provide amazing support. So don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. I know how happy my client is with me. It's the behind the scenes stuff, that's all. And I just don't want shit in my life that causes me so much anxiety if I can not have it. You know what I mean? I don't want to quit my job, obviously. But on saying that, I'm definitely going to be seeing how it goes the next couple of weeks, because I won't be making my life worse, is obviously what I'm saying. It's my new favourite cup. Andrew gave it to me for my birthday, so awesome. Excuse me. So, what else is happening in my life? So, I should have trusted my intuition. As we know, I need to learn everything the hard way. Now, my car has needed to be cleaned for some time. I always try to plan to have it done before I meet a client or I need to travel with a client. That didn't happen the first couple of times with my new client, and they've been fine. They couldn't care less. I, on the other hand, very much do. Like, I actually care. Like, I care about how I am with people, how I treat people, how I help people. Of course I care. If I didn't care, I'd go live in the woods and smoke weed and take all the drugs in the world that I like, and I'd never talk to a single soul ever again. And I don't do that because of how much I do care. So, there's that. Now, I had planned to clean my car myself, right? The reason I didn't was because I don't have an undercover area for my car and the rain was coming. And truthfully, I was going to look at an automatic car wash, but the last few times I've tried one of them, it just doesn't really work. And I really needed the car vacuum because, well, for nothing else, there's fucking ants in my car, right? There's always something. Ants, spiders, something. Anyway, maybe it's because they know I'm not going to do anything. Who knows? I don't know. So anyway, I got to the car wash, and I remember I made the video that day. It was very short because I remember saying something like, I'm very irritated. I've been here for a while. Like, I just want to go. Something like that. Like I said, I don't really remember. And I should have listened. I sat there for like 40 odd minutes, I reckon, and my car hadn't moved, hadn't been looked at, hadn't anything, yeah? And I just kept having this, like, go and get the car, go to the automatic. Go, 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 right? That didn't happen. I really, really wish it had. So, this time I'm going to drink my coffee while it's hot when I talk to you. Anyway, so they cleaned the car. They did a shit fucking job. Now, I am sick to the back fucking teeth of people who gaslight and lie. Yeah? I'm just not going to have people do it to me anymore. And I call out people when they try. So when I pulled into this car wash, right, I told them what I wanted, and they told me it was $49. I was like, okay. It very, very much included vacuuming, the dashboard being all wiped down, and all the outside being cleaned, yeah? I get into my car, and the dashboard and everything is covered in dust. So I literally put my hand across it, and I call out to the guy, and I'm like, what's with this? He comes over to me, and he starts ranting at me. I told you this, and I told you that, and I told you if you want to get more, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, you fucking didn't, for starters. So I walked to the big, massive board, pointed at the one I'd paid for, and said, it fucking clearly says it on your fucking board. This is included. Now clean it. Yeah? I was not in a mood. I was in a mood, and I wasn't fucking taking it, yeah? And he's still trying to rant at me, and I was like, do it. Like, I'm never gonna ever come back here, but like, I'll be leaving a review, not a very fucking good one. But in the end, he was just bitching and carrying on for something that I'd already paid for. Mind you, it was a $49 fucking wash, and I got charged like $50, so whatever. If that wasn't bad enough, though, I come home, everything seems fine. I got to leave for work the following day. And the key wouldn't open my car. So the buttons on my, I think it's next to me. I should be careful. I'm topless under this thing. So the buttons on my keys have not worked for a fucking long time, right? Just haven't worked for ages. And I could never be fucking bothered getting it redone for the buttons because it was always $100. And I was like, I don't need to pay $100 for a new key when I can just put the key in the door, yeah? Up until Saturday, I was able to do that. And full disclosure for myself, if for nobody else, and Abel, I can already hear you in my head, just so you know, like there are plenty of people I can hear in my head. Abel, when it comes to stuff like vaping, I can hear you, okay? Just so we're all on the same page. And why have I started vaping again? I blame it on the fucking people who clean my car, right? Because they pissed me off to the point where it's been sitting in my handbag. Like, this is the one that I lost. And then that's when I went and bought, like, I've got the, like, non-nicotine one. And truly, I haven't been, like, smoking at all until the fucking car problem, yeah? So, Saturday. And mind you, because of all the bullshit that's happened with work, yeah, in my mind, I've been in such a state of anxiety, and not, again, going to stress, nothing to do with me or my client or the actual shift itself. I fucking love what I do. I would actually be friends with my client if I wasn't paid. And I guess that's what my problem is, because I don't like feeling like I cannot be myself. If there's one thing in this whole world that is important to me, or that needs to be the case for me to be able to do anything right, I guess. This is going to be fun watching back, I tell you. What am I trying to say? I need to be able to be myself, and I had stressed that on Mandy from the get-go. And I guess now there's just that little part of me that that's like, I'm still myself, but I really wanted to be like a much, much more professional version of myself, which ineffectively makes me... I mean, anyone out there that has a fucking job must know what I'm talking about. Like, we leave our shit at home, right? Isn't that the whole get-go? We leave our shit at home, we go to work and do a job. Well, unfortunately, I'm not one of those people who knows how to do that. Or it's not even that I don't know how to do that. I literally, physically, in every other which way, can't do that. I just can't, yeah? Again, I'm going to say I should be receiving the NDIS. And I haven't made that phone call about my application, but I think I might do that today, actually, because I have nothing on, and I'm exhausted from getting up half a dozen times last night to let Boss out, because, side note, I haven't even finished my first fucking story. Boss is obviously on antibiotics and pain meds. And the pain meds are giving him the runs, and obviously he can't use the dog door given his foot's all bandaged, and even though he's basically back to himself, it's not like he can be jumping up and down through a dog door with a foot and bandage with a toe missing. So, my point being, I have gotten up at least a half a dozen times this evening, or throughout the middle of the night, to put... And not only that, like, it's like anyone with the runs. He's got to go, but I can't let him outside to risk the bandage getting wet without putting the glove on. Thankfully, I have got it down to a fine art on how to get the yellow dishcloth up and the rubber band around it, so it's easy enough to do. But yeah, I'm wrecked. Anyway, I think all I need to do is clean my house, and I really, really, really need to do grocery shopping, but I don't want to go out. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, back to Saturday. So I've been looking at these new beds, right? I really, really, really want a new bed, because my mattress is probably like 15 years old, and the headboard is probably worse. So this part here was my sister's partner's bed in high school, if I'm recalling that correctly, right? So very old. And one of the problems with it, I mean, it's not a problem per se, it's a problem for me because of my pain levels, right, is fucking holes, yeah? So I've been looking for new beds, and the Emma Mattress Company had a sale on for Mother's Day, right? So I think Mother's Day is next weekend. Anyway, there's been all these massive sales on, and they had all these like half price deals, and I was able to get the base and the mattress, which according to all the reviews I'd read was amazing, at half the price for $1,064, right? To me that was a bargain and a half, and I was very happy with that, right? Now I was almost half asleep when doing this, right? And then the chat person came on and was like, we're going to give you an extra 5% when you're ready to purchase. And I was like, okay, cool, but I'm absolutely out of my mind exhausted. If that's the case, I'll have a think about whether I want to get, the pillows and the mattress protector as well. And I was assured that the sales had days to go and there was nothing to worry about if I took a couple of days to think about it. So on Saturday morning, I was running so ahead of time for work, which is so not like me. I hate when my hair looks this shit. So yeah, it wasn't like me, and I thought, okay, it's only going to take 5 minutes. I'll put the purchase through, right? And I went to do it, and all the prices and the codes had changed, and it was like an extra $400 for literally nothing added. It was the exact same thing. The bed and the mattress alone had gone from $1,064, which thank fucking God I took a screenshot of to send to Cassidy, because they'd all jumped. Like I said, bed and mattress had now gone from $1,064 to like $1,438, and I was like, well, I'm not paying that much extra for exactly the fucking same thing, right? So I took more pictures and sent it through to the customer support. So I spoke to the chat people. They're like, this is above us. Here's the email. Talk to the support people. At first, they were really nice, right? Really nice. And they kept trying to say to me, this is it. This is the price. This is how the 50% works, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yep, okay, all's well and good. Here's the picture to prove otherwise. They both have exactly the same code. Like, so the first one I took the photo, thank goodness, like I said, showed the code, right? The second one I took the photo showed exactly the same code with a much lower discount rate. Oh, wait. No. Bossy boss. Look at mummy. We're not going to go crazy and bark your fucking head off, hey? Are you a good boy? This is how I make him shut the fuck up. Yeah? Good boy. Because I don't want to deal with the barking either. Anyway, so I sent all this off. And they were like making all these different excuses, and I was like, that's cool, that's fine, I'm obviously just not going to go ahead with the purchase, because I don't think anyone would want to pay an extra $400 for something that was $400 cheaper the day before. Please comment in the comments if I'm the only one that thinks like that, yeah? Anyway, so obviously it didn't go quite well that morning, which then caused me to become late, because go figure, right? Thankfully my client and I had already organised that I was going to start at 10:30 because we were going to mini golf, and that opened at 11, and it was like a 25-minute drive, so it all worked out fine, don't get me wrong. And I tend to stay with my client a lot longer than, well, not like for the last number of times I've stayed with my client for longer than what I've charged for. Like I said, I like them as they are, not a work thing. I just like them. I always think these sorts of jobs are great because it's like the money is a bonus for hanging out with someone I would hang out with for free. It's just that the bonus of being paid comes with all these really strict guidelines and rules and laws that makes my vulnerable side of myself freak out when I've had shit like has happen. Because I've actually really worked out that one of my major triggers in life with my PTSD is being accused of doing something wrong when I know for a fact I haven't. So yeah. But anyway, I was running late, so obviously I had to get in the car and go. So I went to put the fucking key in the car, right? Nothing happened. And I was like, this is fucking weird, right? And I tried to turn it, I tried everything. Excuse me, didn't know what was going on. Finally got it open. Yeah, finally got it open because I was freaking out that I was going to snap the key, right? And in my head, I think because I was running so late by this point and we had the plans and I'd already spoken to them, earlier. So that was all sort of in my mind, and I figured it had unlocked. So it must have been, in my mind, I'm thinking the cleaners who cleaned the car had obviously cleaned it and something had gotten in, fucked it up. I honestly don't know. But I just remember praying that because I'd gotten in, it would be fine for the rest of the day and that it had fixed itself, so to speak. Because I truly can't think of a single other thing besides the people who cleaned it, and again, not well, clearly rushed, have done something to it. Unfortunately, the day did not go how I thought it would, or how I had hoped it would, right? Because we'd already organised that I would pull into the secure locked-in car park to turn around and do that. Anyone that knows me, all of you probably know I have a broken bladder. There's no way I was risking driving to my clients and then driving back to somewhere else without stopping for a bathroom. So I'd already planned all of this in advance. So I pulled into the car park and I got out and I tried to lock my door. And again, I couldn't. I couldn't lock it. I couldn't do anything. I managed to get one of the other keys and poke it in one of these holes, right? And it worked. And I was like, okay, worst case scenario, for the rest of the day, I'll just use something to use these, yeah? Why I locked it when I went in to go to the bathroom, when it was in a secure car park, utterly beyond me, because trying to get back into the car was an absolute nightmare. Now, my anxiety was already pretty high by this point, but it was really increasing every second this was happening because I was becoming so overwhelmed and so anxious. All of my stuff was starting to it was not fun. We finally got in and we went to where we were going. Same deal again. I was able to lock it using the key because I should have put all my stuff from the car into a client's house and then just left it, but I was real paranoid. I didn't want to leave my car unlocked in a shopping centre, right? Again, I was praying it'll be okay. And I'd already said to my client, look, if this stuff happens and this fucks us around, obviously it's not going to be coming out of your time, yeah? And they were totally fine. But we couldn't get back in. We literally couldn't get back in. I was in such a state I actually needed to take Valium. Where we were happened to have one of those under car park car wash places. And I ended up having to go and ask someone, can you help me? I don't know what to do. And I explained the situation. And I was like, I'm at my wit's end. I honestly don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. I'm in an area that I didn't know anything was around me. I mean, just trying to find where we were going took so long. And thankfully, he tried everything he could. And in the end, he thought of something that I didn't, because again, it's always been hit and miss. But he was able to unlock the boot using the key. So by getting in through the boot, I was able to get back into the car, thankfully, right? I then obviously left it for the rest of the shift at the client's secure parking unlocked because I wasn't going to deal with that again. I then had to go and check a few places for keys to where I could get them cut. I wanted to get it cut at that point over on that side. And again, my client and I already have an understanding. I put my day aside on Saturdays, yeah, and they were fine. But I couldn't get it done, and I called the place that I've been to before near my home, and I explained the situation again, and they were like, yeah, we can fix it. Anyway, I made it just in time, right? And I had to have the entire fucking key replaced, and it cost me $149. I was told how to set the key to the car, because obviously he's like, I could just make copies of people's cars and drive them myself. And I was like, yeah, true, that does make sense. So I was able to get in and out of the car. The buttons work. Awesome. I couldn't get the car to start. And I was like, not again. So I've always, even starting my car's always been a bit of, jiggling to try and get it to work. The new key, though, just did nothing. And I was like, oh my God, it was already past time that this guy had closed. And I just was praying when I went back into the shop that he'd still be there. So he was still there, but he'd obviously closed down. And I was in panic by this point because it's well after 5. I've already been out since 10 o'clock. And I still don't know how I'm going to get home. Thankfully, he was able to just take this key. This is, ironically enough, this key is the new key in the old thing. And my old key is in the new one, which kind of makes me think that's what they should have done in the first place, because I truly don't think I needed to pay the whole $150, but whatever. I can now get in and out of my car, so that's something. But I guess my intuition about not getting my car washed where I went probably would have solved all of this and not had it happen if I'd listened. But yeah. So there's a few things happening in my life, like I have said. I'm trying to think of where else I'm at. I think that's about me for now. I really do want to start getting my head around school again, but I'm also sort of just so in a I don't really care state, I think. Again, I started this video by saying how much I do care, and I do care. I just want to rest, I guess, and I'm still following the group chat, and I don't know. I guess I need to really set myself up to be in the frame of mind to study. And today I thought Ali was coming over because I borrowed Andrew's lawnmower because, I'm struggling to start his. I definitely cannot start the one I own, which is why I don't use it. Fairly certain it still works. I wouldn't say I'm 100%, but I'm fairly certain, yeah? And I was talking to Ali, and she was saying something about needing a lawnmower. Now, Ali is lovely. This is the woman I met who cleaned my house and who I kind of lost it with. Though she does always ask me every day if I'm well first, and I'm just like, yes. She's too paranoid to talk to me if I'm not, which I guess fair enough in that sense. But yeah, she mentioned something about a lawnmower, and she doesn't like to accept help, which I'm trying to teach her is okay. And I said to her, oh, I've got one. I was like, I don't use it. You can have it. And she obviously argued and was like, no. And I was like, look, if you can get it to work, you may as well have it, because otherwise it's going to hard rubbish. And at that, she was like, okay, then, that's a whole different thing. And I'm like, exactly. So, yes. And she was meant to come today. Like I said, I've been up throughout the entire night with Boss. You just heard his name. Hello, darling. So I'm actually wrecked. I am enjoying my book, and I want to keep reading. I really do need to go grocery shopping, but I guess I need to work my way up to that or go tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I'm actually 30 minutes. I'm pleased I've been making my videos, even if they are short and pointless to other people. But it's important to me. And yeah, I think I'm good for now. I will check in with you all later or tomorrow. Happy Tuesday!